Okay, hi everyone. Just bear with me one moment while I get everything set up. This is our take 2 for our strategy workshop number 3. I apologize about the terrible tech sound quality problems. I've actually bought a brand new microphone. I hope that it helps, and I hope that this this recording is going to be beautiful and clear. That's my intention. Okay, so today we are delving into what it takes to write intuitively and strategically so that you can maximize the launch exposure and call in high level clients. So this is a really important point of an important aspect of this whole process that I'm taking you on. I believe it's one thing to go through this journey of, writing your chapter, of going deep, of sharing your story. And it's another thing to know how to use that as a leverageable marketing tool, right? As something that you can actively use to grow your profile, to build your credibility, to call in those higher level clients, to raise your prices, to really, allow yourself to be seen and to command that higher level, that next level. My commitment to you throughout this process is that I teach you and you learn and you implement how to do this. Otherwise, what can happen is we go through the launch period, it's really exciting, we hit bestseller status, and then it kind of, okay, that happened, that was fun, and we move on, right? So this is a really important component. Myself as a strategist, as a business strategist, this is my intention for you, is that you learn how to use this as a really powerful, like leverageable, powerful marketing strategy. Okay, so if at any point along the way you feel like you're not necessarily using this process to the maximum capacity that you can, let me know. Okay, communicate that, because that's a really important piece. So if you want your story to be shared, if you want to really activate people and inspire people by sharing your story, this is a really important component, the strategy piece. Okay, so we have spoken a bit about writing intuitively. Today we're going to really talk about what it takes to balance intuitive writing and strategic writing. You may have done quite a lot of this sort of stuff over the years that we're going to be delving into. And if that's the case, I encourage you to try and listen to this with fresh ears, right? A lot of what we're going to be talking about today is kind of marketing 101. We need to know who our client is. We need to know who we're talking to. We need to know what kind of problems we solve. We need to know how they articulate their issues, how our soulmate clients articulate their problems. We need to be really clear on all of these things, right? If we're not clear on this, then our clients and our potential clients are certainly not going to be clear on this as well. And that's going to cause further problems. Okay, so the clearer you are in your message, the clearer you are in the outcomes that you facilitate, the clearer you are in knowing exactly how the work that you do with your clients deeply transforms their lives, the clearer that lands for your clients and for your potential clients. Let me tell you one thing, a confused mind will never buy. Okay, if someone is confused about what work you do, about what the outcomes are of them working with you, if they can't really clearly understand, when I go and see Tash, I go with this problem and she can help me, she can help me achieve or facilitate this result, or these problems and help me achieve these results. If someone can't really clearly understand that, then it's unlikely that they're going to be investing with you, especially if you're commanding high level price points. So we're talking here, $5, 10, 15, 20, $100,000 plus, right? Really, the sky's the limit when it comes to your offers. It's really just your confidence and your energy alignment with your pricing. But if you're wanting to command higher prices, if you're wanting to create your signature program, if you're wanting to really move into that higher level work, then you must be clear on the problems that you solve and the transformational results that you facilitate. So the strategy is really important. So I really just wanted to check in and remind you guys as well, if you haven't yet gone live into the group and introduced yourself, please do that, okay? Because that's important for everyone to understand and to know and to feel who's entering into this space, who's entering into this container. I encourage you to friend request everyone as well. So friend request the people that are in this book, friend request people that have been in the past books. And what we're going to do is we're going to really be able to support each other as books get launched, as you share your stories, as you really show up in a much more powerful way on your social media, as you really take your content creation and your storytelling to that next level, it's great to have people like a cheer squad, right? People in the background who can really deeply support you and yeah, really show up for you. It also helps the algorithm as well. So it's a really great thing. Like your community in the group of the Ashman Publishing multi-author books, the community in here is very, very powerful, okay? We're going to be talking about networking as we move through as well. So how you're able to really tap into networks of other people, into the networks of the people who are your fellow authors, how to expand your network, right? This is so, so important. And in order to do that, it's great to have these people as your friends on Facebook. Okay. So I also wanted to remind you as well to reconnect with your intention for the book. Okay. So we've spoken about that a bit, and I want to bring that up again because it's so important. With all of us, the work that we do, you know, we all delve in between the energetic and the 3D realm, right? You understand how powerful intention is, how powerful your intention is, how powerful it is to set a vision, to set a goal, and to really move toward that goal. Provided we do the inner work that ensures that we are in energetic alignment with our goals, and that's a really big piece. We need to energetically be aligned. Once we are, our goals, our visions, our intentions are so powerful. It's like the magic sprinkling that we can bring into the work, right? What's your intention for this book? What do you want it to do for you? What do you want this book to do in this this project? What do you want it to do for your business? What do you want this project to do for your profitability? What do you want this project to do for the world? What do you want this project to do for the people who encounter it, who encounter your words, who encounter your training? What's your intention? Okay, it's really, really powerful to set an intention and to hold steadfast to that intention as well. So I'm going to be really circling you back to this, back to the intention, the why, yeah? And we can also come back to your mission, yeah? What is the mission that you feel you're on, that your business helps you facilitate? This is the bigger amorphous why, yeah? The bigger reason why you're doing what you're doing. As we go through this process of writing the chapter, of, you know, refining the chapter, what you're going to find is that it's going to be very powerful for your message and powerful for you to learn how to communicate, articulate, and really clarify your message. A big component of your message, I believe, is your why, the reason why you're in business. Why do you put all these hours, hundreds of thousands of hours into growing your business, into working with your people? What's that bigger picture? So I really want you to get clear on that. If you are not already, spend some time in deep meditation, do some journaling, do some channeling, really take the time to understand so that you can articulate why you do what you do. Yeah, your people will deeply resonate and deeply respond with your message and your mission. What I found is that when I do posts that I like creative writing or content creation or storytelling posts where I talk about my why, like the big reason why I'm in business, it gets such great results. I always get people wanting to know more about my work. So for me, a big reason why I work with female entrepreneurs, why I help them to grow their business, why I help them to share their message, why I help them to really be seen on that bigger scale, is because I want to help facilitate the transfer of global wealth from the hands of the people who currently have, you know, the top 95% of the wealth around the world. I want to help facilitate, help learn. I want to learn how to, well, not learn. I want to channel some of that global wealth into the hands of conscious leaders, conscious entrepreneurs who are here emulating what it takes to really create, to really have a vision, to really, you know, build the new future, the new paradigm, the new earth. For me, that is super important because I believe in the power of leadership. I believe in the power of business, in the power of spiritual entrepreneurialism, as an example, right? This is my mission. This is a part of my mission. So I want to encourage you to get clear on yours. Post it in the group, yeah? Post it in the group. This is the mission I'm on. This is why I do the work I do, and this is why it's important. So I'm going to be kind of looking at my notes over here and talking to the camera at the same time. So essentially, we're going to be delving into the strategy component today. Before we do that, I wanted to have some questions here that is in relation to your identity, okay? And this is really, really important. Who you identify with is essential, because that's how you come across, right? That's how people see you. That's how they perceive you. And it's also how, unconsciously or not, it's how you show up in the world. So let me ask you, are you in the practice of identifying as a published author, as a published best-selling author? Are you in the practice of identifying as a successful CEO of a company? If you're not anchoring that energy in, or that identity in, you're going to find it's going to contaminate and leak into your business and into the confidence and the energy that you wield in your business. Your identity is so important. So are you identifying as that successful entrepreneur? Are you identifying as the woman who puts everyone else's needs before her own, who puts everyone else's dreams before her own? Where are you on the scale of that? So this process, as I've mentioned before, I really believe when we make a decision to enter a container or a project such as this, which has such big capacity, such big potential, such big opportunity for massive momentum, massive visibility, when we enter that container, energetically, we start to shift and change, right? It's like when we work with a new coach. It's like when we sign up to work with a new coach. And sometimes before we've even started working with them, shit starts happening. Stuff starts happening in our life, right? Whether it's positive or negative, it doesn't matter, but stuff starts to uncover and to bubble up. We're probably all very used to that experience, yeah? And that's something that happens quite a lot when we make a big decision in life. It's like the universe starts to get aligned with that. So are you consciously aligning yourself with the woman that you want to be, right? We spoke a bit about this in our first workshop in terms of the identity that you're wanting to portray. I encourage you to identify as that woman who is a published best-selling author. I tell you, she will be charging a very different price point than the woman who doesn't identify like that. She will be speaking about herself in a very different way. She will be messaging, she will be selling, she'll be training and teaching and coaching. She'll be living in her life in a very different way than the woman who does not necessarily identify like that. So really powerful opportunity for you to drop in. And I want you to be really honest. And I want you to remember that you get to say how it goes. Yeah, this is your life. It's your identity. Sometimes we literally can fake it till we make it. And I know that phrase is thrown around quite a lot, but I really believe that this is possible, right? When we get the vision of who we desire to be and call that in, so much is possible, right? Our brain literally starts to work in a different way. Alrighty, so when we level up, I'm sure you're all very aware of this. When we level up, when we make a decision to be seen in a new way, when we decide to take things to that next level, when we decide to bring bigger momentum, bigger visibility, share our story in a bigger way, our shit's going to come up, right? Our stuff is going to come up. I want to remind you that it's a very normal part of the process, yeah? Especially as we get closer to this launch date, right? Of the book, the launch date of the book. Your stuff is going to come up, and I encourage you to anticipate it and to be okay with it when it does. Do not let it derail you, though. So if that happens, if you start to feel the unsettledness creeping in, if you start to feel maybe the imposter or the saboteur or the inner child, any of those archetypal energies starting to kick in to hold you back, to keep you safe, to really pull you back into your safe box, my best advice is to start to communicate that that's what's happening. This is the thing that's going to neutralize that, right? You want to communicate to me or to the group, go live into the group, say, this is where I'm at. I really just need to be witnessed in this. Thank you for seeing me. In more cases than one, that is enough to actually shift the trajectory of that resistance pattern, okay? But I really want to encourage you not to let your resistance patterns spin out of control to the point where you are spinning your wheels for weeks at a time. What this process is going to do for you, it's going to create massive momentum in your business. Yeah, when we really take things to that next level, when we decide to ramp things up, when we decide to be seen at that next level on a bigger stage, claiming our power, showing up, selling our amazing transformational offers, sharing our amazing best-selling book, It creates huge momentum for your business, but you must move quickly, right? Momentum is built by moving quickly. Yeah, that's how that momentum actually is generated. So you must move quickly. I encourage you to get into the habit of bringing people along for the ride in this journey, this experience that you're on, and for really understanding that you wield the momentum, you build the momentum. That momentum builds by you showing up in your business, by you taking massive, quick action. Okay, so if you're spinning your wheels for weeks at a time, that's going to be impacting the momentum that you're generating. As we've spoken about before, momentum, it's like a currency, and it's one of the most powerful currencies on the social media scene. Once you spend it, it's gone. You need to build it back up from scratch again. You need to save that momentum all the way back up again, right? It's like putting money in the bank. Once you spend it, it's gone. You need to build that bank account back up again, that momentum bank account back up. The same is true for your business, okay? So I want you to keep moving. I want you to keep showing up, even if you feel scared, even if you feel fear. Remember, there's no courage without fear. I learned that on the new it's a new Disney movie. I can't remember the name of it. Mulan, the new Mulan movie, and I loved it. There's no courage without fear, right? It's so true. So don't let yourself get derailed. Please communicate before that happens. All righty, let me have a look over here. So, you know, it is important as well to remember that we are cultivating courage, right? Like I said, there's no courage without fear. We're activating the fire of courage, so to speak, right? We really need to understand that, like I said, this stuff is going to push you in ways that you haven't been pushed before. Relish it, welcome it in. And I want you to really ask yourself the answers to these questions. Okay, this is going to help you to get into that space where you can really allow yourself to show up, to be potent as fuck, to really claim your space, and to really be seen on that bigger stage. And you can even do some channeling or some journaling around these questions. What does my community need me to say right now? What does my community need me to say right now? What am I truly being called to teach or to say? If I was being truly authentic, what would that look like right now? And this is such a powerful question, right? If I was being truly authentic, what would that look like right now? Often we think we know what authenticity looks like, but really when we stop and check in, we realize it's actually that maybe that's someone else's idea of authenticity, but it might not be my own. What have I been hiding or running away from? And then what do I need to do about that? And of course, the big question, are you willing to share the story that scares you? The story that you know you want to share, but that activates that fear, that activates, oh, I don't know if I could go there. I don't know if I could go there. And everyone has a story like that. And often by not sharing this story, this is the thing that keeps the shackles holding us back, right? So often this is one of the most powerful things that we can do by releasing the shackles, is to share the things that we maybe feel terrified to share. With this book, Sacred Rebel, of course, we're talking disruption. So what has my life's journey shown me that I am passionate about disrupting? What of the old paradigm am I desiring to disrupt so that I can help facilitate the new paradigm, the new way? As visionaries, we are calling forth the new way. What is that new way for you, for your clients? And how has your life's journey helped you to understand that? This goes back to the golden thread. Okay. So I really want you to sit with those questions. If you're not doing the daily journaling, creative journaling, remember that's one of the most powerful practices you can do. And I really encourage you to do that consistently, because that's what's going to clear that beautiful creative channel and have that be flowing for you most powerfully. Okay. So next I wanted to share with you a concept that a very old mentor of mine, the beautiful Danny Gardner, coined. I believe she coined this. And this concept is called fertile ground. So essentially, if we are launching offers to a community of people if we're launching offers to a community of people that doesn't have enough fertile ground, That means they're not nurtured, they're not warmed, they don't know and understand and love and like and trust and adore our work, then our offers are never going to take root. So we've got quite a lot of time with this project, okay? So obviously, come May, our book is released. Late June, early July is the summit, right? The 2 weeks that straddle June and July. What I really want you to focus on, as well as writing your chapter and, you know, doing all of that beautiful behind the scenes work, you've got to build your fertile ground, yeah, to build your community. And you really, really, really want to be focusing on doing that, okay? This is one of the most important things that I think I can share with you at the moment. If you get to the point where we've done the summit and you're ready to launch whatever it is that you're wanting to launch off the back of that summit, but you don't have fertile ground, you don't have that fertile soil, you don't have that community around you that really know you and love you and they're warm, they're hot, they want in on whatever it is that you're offering, then it's never really going to land and flourish. That offer is never really going to flourish as powerfully as it could. So I really want you to start to think about, how am I building my community? How am I building my community? How am I speaking to and gathering in my tribe? Where am I housing my community? You know, a Facebook group is a great place for this. If you have a Facebook group, are you in there consistently? Are you nurturing it? Are you showing up? Are you doing trainings? Are you providing them with value? Are you helping them to see in a new way? Are you facilitating epiphanies? Are you giving them implementable strategies that they can use so they can start to build up that trust bank with you? If you don't run a Facebook group, it might be an email list. The email list, obviously, you know, it's a lot more removed. A Facebook group is fabulous because they get to see you and feel you. And it's like, you know, I think of it, it's kind of like your Facebook group is like another room in your house, right? So you can welcome people into your space. This is your domain. Obviously, it's on Facebook, so it's not ever really ours, but it's your domain, and it's your opportunity to shine in there, right? You can be the facilitator, the leader, the authority. You are the one that people come to. And at the end of the day, people will always come to you because you're you, right? They come to you because they love the way you feel. They love your experience. They love your story, which is why storytelling content is so important, and behind the scenes content is so important. They come to you because of your unique energetic makeup. Also, obviously, they come to you because of the work that you facilitate, the transformational results that you can help your clients achieve, the problems you can help them solve, and, you know, the new paradigm that you hold space for, right? But it's really important for you to start to think and understand, how am I building and nurturing my community? This is so important, okay? I want you to start focusing on this now, right? When we still have 4 to 5 months away, when we're still 4 to 5 months away from the summit, right, in particular, but also the book, you want to have a space that you can bring people in. If you have a Facebook group, I really want you to start to think about ways that you can really ramp up your nurturing of them, of the people who are in that group, yeah? I highly recommend doing a regular, like a weekly training in your Facebook group, or some space, some opportunity that you offer where people can come and learn from you, where they can implement your strategies. Obviously, you know, there are strategies around implementing free strategies, and, you know, how much do I give away for free? We can talk about that at a later stage. I believe there's no such thing as too much free content. But you need to understand how to give someone just a taste, give them an entree, not a main meal, right? So give them an entree so it leaves them wanting more. And that wanting more will be them reaching out going, how can I work with you? How can I understand more about what you do? So build your community, build your fertile soil, okay? That's the most important thing from that I want to say. If you need support with that, reach out. Okay, so we're kind of going to move now into the real strategy piece around the kind of marketing 101. And you'll hear my unique opinion on this. Like I said at the beginning, if you have done this sort of work before, there'll probably be that part of you that goes, oh, I've done this. Park it to the side. Essentially, as you shift and change and evolve, your soulmate clients shift and change and evolve. As you shift and change and evolve, the transformation that you facilitate shifts and changes and evolves. So you really want to be sitting with these questions on a regular, consistent basis. We're often pivoting in business, pivoting slightly with who we work with the work that we do, with our offers, with our program suites, with the transformation that we facilitate, whether we realize it or not. And it's really powerful to sit with these questions on a consistent basis to understand how far we've come and to understand how things are slightly shifting. We also want to be articulating that along the way so that people can either keep up with us or peel away, and that's perfectly okay. So I want to ask you, and I want you to let me know in the comments in the Facebook group, what is the highest level transformation you facilitate? Okay. What is the highest level transformation that you facilitate? There might be lots of transformations that you facilitate, but maybe they're not the highest level one, okay? So if you think about it, and this is especially true when you have a signature program, and especially not true if you're working in a single session capacity, but when you have a signature program that you take people through a process, a methodology, or, an experience, you're taking them on a journey. You're taking your client on a journey from pain into pleasure, from problem into solution, from fear into love, so to speak, right? Depending on the work you do. There will be some aspect of transformational journey that you facilitate for them. So can you clearly articulate what that is? And can you clearly articulate the highest level transformation? Meaning you're speaking to the highest level soulmate client. Now, you often hear this phrase, target market. I don't really like that. Personally, I like to think that, and I feel that the people that we're meant to work with, the highest level clients that we're meant to work with, we actually have a bit of a soul contract. We have a soul contract to work with them, right? It's like we're meant to meet. And as we do the work that we do, each of us is left transformed. I, as the practitioner or facilitator, are left transformed. They are left deeply transformed. So it's important to understand who is that highest level version of your soul. They can afford to pay you. Obviously, this is basic. They can afford to pay you at the level that you want to be paid, right? At the level that you desire to be paid. So have a think about it. When you think about the clients that you've been signing, have they been at that level? Has it been easy for them to invest with you? Has it been a no-brainer? Have they got the resources to say yes to you and the courage to say yes to themselves? This is a really important question, okay? Our needs need to be met prior to us facilitating deep transformation. Otherwise, if we're not serving from the overflow, we're serving from depletion, okay? So I want you to really clearly understand and articulate, what's the highest level transformation I facilitate? Who is my highest level soulmate client? And what makes them a high level soulmate client? What are the problems that I specialize in solving? What are the tangible outcomes that I facilitate? What are the intangible outcomes that I facilitate? And obviously this is really important. So we need to know what I find, especially a lot of women that work in the energetic space, or they work in holistic therapies, they're practitioners. They find it really difficult to clearly articulate the outcomes that they facilitate, right? The tangible outcomes. We're often very good at articulating the intangible outcomes. So what is a tangible outcome? A tangible outcome is something I can see, I can touch, I can hear, I can taste, right? It's a shift that happens in my 3D reality, yeah? I make more money in my business. I meet my soulmate client or my soulmate relationship, right? I release my digestive problems, yeah? Versus an intangible outcome, which is something that's more of a feeling, right? I feel better about myself. I raise my self-worth. I build my confidence, yeah? So building confidence is an intangible outcome. What would be the tangible result of that building confidence, right? I build my confidence intangible. I start showing up on social media and doing Facebook Lives as a result, right? I learn how to sell. I learn how to sell. I start making more money as a result of the confidence that I built up within myself. So now I'm using business examples here, but you'll be able to find many examples for your particular niche. And I really want you to clearly articulate to us, to yourself, what is the problem what are the problems I specialize in solving, and what are the tangible and intangible outcomes that I can facilitate. And obviously, it's really important that we understand who is that highest level soulmate client. So your soulmate client is someone, like I said, that can afford to pay you, that pays you on time, that does the work, that doesn't come from victim energy, but actually comes from empowerment energy. And, this is a very important thing to distinguish. Yeah. Are you calling in people that are empowered or people that are stuck in their victim? They can make empowered and decisive decisions. For me, this is a really important component of my soulmate client. But it wasn't until I learned how to make empowered and decisive decisions in my life that I actually started calling in clients like that. So this is a really important piece, right? Because our clients and our business, our reality mirrors what's happening within. So if I'm starting to get stuck down some victim tendency pathways, it's most likely going to happen that I start attracting people that are following, that are in that as well. If I suddenly start having problems with my mindset around my worth, around my prices, around my sales, maybe I'm struggling to make empowered financial decisions, I'm most likely going to attract people who are mirroring that to me as well. So it's a really powerful opportunity to stop and to look, who am I attracting to work with me? Are they the kind of high-level clients that I desire to work with? And if not, what is it that they are mirroring, and how is this showing up for me in my life? Just gonna have some water. So it's really important for you to be very clear in your own energy, because that's the only way that we can really effectively call in those people who are at that high level. And it's a really important thing to do regularly, to assess who is that highest level client. Am I calling in that highest level client, or do I want to take people from 0 to 10 or 10 to 100, right? That's a great question to ask. It literally requires the same amount of energy to take someone from 0 to 10 as it does to take a person from 10 to 100. Am I working with all the foundational stuff, whatever that means for you and your niche? Or am I working with my client at that higher level? Yeah. Am I working with people who are, maybe they're already partly there, or they're even 2/3 of the way there and they need help getting to that final 100%? This is a really important and powerful question. All right, so it's important for us to know the answers to all of these things that we've spoken about today, because when we write our chapter, we want to be speaking to that person, right? We want to be speaking to that higher level client. We want to be speaking and referencing that higher level transformation that you facilitate. So like I said, with any kind of content that you're creating, with any messaging, right, we literally get who we message to, right? People come to us based off the back of our messaging and our content creation and the words that we decide to use. So if you're finding that you're attracting people who are stuck in victim energy, often, obviously, we need to check within, where's that showing up for me? But also, am I speaking only to a disempowered version of my client in my content? Or am I speaking to a version of my client that is empowered in, say, 90% of her life, but the 10% that is not working is bringing everything down? And that area is the area that I specialize in. That's a painful problem, right? When we have 90% of my world is going really well, but 10% is not, and boy, it's really affecting that other 90%, and it's starting to leak into that other 90%. That is a super painful, super powerful problem that you can help them solve. It's also a super profitable problem that you can help them solve, because they're going to be willing to do what it takes to invest in the mentorship, to do the work, to ensure that that solidifies, that that gap is closed, so that 100% of their world, of their reality, is functioning the way they desire. So it's a little thing for you to think about there. Is the client, the person that I'm speaking to, are they empowered or disempowered? Are they empowered or in victim energy? And am I speaking to that? Am I speaking to them on that spectrum through the content that I create? So what I want you to do, that kind of nicely segues into the final component of this masterclass, or this workshop today. What I want you to do is do a little audit of the content that you have created in your business. Are you creating content, first off? Are you showing up and allowing yourself to be seen in all your glory? Really owning the power of your work, owning the fact that this is what I'm brilliant at, and I'm not afraid to claim it, and I'm not afraid to say it. Are you doing that? And if you're not, start there, please. But I want you to do an audit of your content, and I want you to ask yourself, firstly, am I speaking to my client through my content from an empowered or a disempowered perspective? And secondly, am I facilitating, am I creating information-driven content, or am I creating transformation-driven content? With all the content that is available to us, people are literally stuck in analysis paralysis, right? They are consuming so much content. Am I adding to the noise? Or am I breaking that and really like offering transformational content rather than simply informational content? This is a really powerful distinction. And the difference is that, one, the information-driven content, it simply adds to the noise. The second, it actually helps your client to experience a mini win, or they will actually see things in a new way. They will actually implement and have an experience different to before. They will actually like have that epiphany or have that aha moment. They will actually be slightly transformed. And this is a really important thing for you to start to implement in your content starting now. Okay, this is how we build trust with our people. It's how we build connection. It's how we build community. As long as we're moving people into a space where we can facilitate that community, really, really, really important. Okay, that's all for now. We're going to be coming back again. Next week, we're going to be delving in again with the post-launch promotions workshop. I hope that's been useful for you guys. Any questions, chuck them in the comments, and we'll take it from there. Alrighty, cheers.